A social search site with shopping tips today on Call for Help.
Who's whistling? Mike, are you whistling the Call for Help theme? You know, it begs to be whistled. Hi, I'm the whistling Call for Helper, Leo Laporte, and this is the show where we help you with your computer problems. We show you how to use technology. We show you how to buy it, how to abuse it, how to get rid of it when you're done with it. It is a show designed to make it easy for you to get into technology. This is episode 461. So if you just started watching, you've got a lot of catching up to do. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, this is a good time to start. Yolanda Lougheed is with us. This is her second show.
You're getting better with the name already.
Yolanda Lougheed.
Only a little bit of stutter this time.
Is it
Lougheed.
Lougheed?
Yes.
But it's spelled Lougheed.
Lougheed, yes.
Lougheed.
Yes. If you're from Vancouver, where I'm from, it's easy because there's Lougheed Highway, Lougheed Mall.
Really?
Yeah.
So your husband owns Vancouver.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh well, wow. What are you doing here? Yeah.
No, not quite.
We were looking at, and this is, you know, it's kind of one of those geek things. You know how dogs will circle each other and sniff each other's butts. Well, geeks.
Is that what we were doing?
No, we weren't. No, geeks will circle each other and sniff each other's cell phones.
We were.
We were doing a little cell phone comparison. You got a Q.
I do.
I've got a Dash.
Yeah, we could have
Silly names.
here.
We're going to talk about the two hottest smartphones on the market. You will be comparing them.
I
for
will
us.
indeed.
So that's fun.
Yeah.
You like your Q?
You know what? I really like it. It's my first, smartphone.
You haven't used a smartphone before?
No, I never have.
Just used a phone before.
A regular phone. I actually had my phone forever. I had an old AudioVox that liked to be. It could be dropped a million times, and I drop it constantly. So I'm scared with this one that I'm gonna drop it.
You know, when you start spending money and you get these fancy phones, you're right. They suddenly become like.
I didn't spend any money though. That's why I have it. My carrier coughed one up, like to say, please don't leave us, even though phone number portability is coming up in a few
that's
months.
interesting.
Yeah.
So, and that's a good tip too. We could talk a little bit about that. Sometimes you can extort these out of your.
I extorted.
But you can work the system to get a new free phone just because they don't want to lose you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Also here, Allie DeBold. Is that her real name? Allie DeBold. She's actually from ChickAdvisor.
She is. I can't wait to talk about it.
Yeah, and she's got the greatest shoes. Did you see her shoes?
I didn't. Oh, they're little red. They kind of look
aren't they
like.
cute? They're so great.
Alice in Wonderland. Yeah,
See,
they're
I'm getting into ChickAdvisor already.
Maybe you should be doing this interview.
Also, no, I'll stick with Marcel Gagne. He's a man's man, and he's going to do the My Computer thing. He's our Linux guru, and sometimes Windows people say, but where's my computer? Where's my network neighborhood? Marcel is going to show us where my computer lurks on Linux, so that should be a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
So glad you're here today.
Thank you.
For coming
We're
in.
matching today, too.
We are. This is the Navy Blue
Show.
Yeah. So do we have a call? Our first call of the day?
We do. We have Corey from Innisfil, Ontario.
See, you Canadians know how to say these words.
Well, it's funny because I've lived all over Canada, so I was saying I haven't actually lived there yet.
This is the one place she hasn't lived.
I haven't lived, yes.
Hey, Corey.
Hi, Leo.
Welcome to Call for Help. What can I do for you? He's
Is he shy?
Stunned. Welcome to Call for Help. Oh, wait a minute. There's a picture of him. Oh, he's a good-looking young lad. Hello, Corey. How are you today?
Not too bad. From yourself?
It says Al from Thunder Bay, but we know, in fact, it's Corey from Innisfil.
Yeah, that's where I'd be from.
I have no idea why it says Al from Thunder Bay on there, but watch this. We're going to fix it so fast. Ready? One. No, we can't. So, Corey, what can I do for you?
I have a question for you, Leo.
Yes.
I bought a new computer recently.
Yes.
And when I bought it, it works fine. It's an HP. It's nice and fast and all that good stuff.
Good.
And sometimes when I go to turn on the computer, an XP will start up. It takes a long time to start up, like 10, 15 minutes sometimes.
Whoa!
Yeah, to fully start up.
When did that start happening?
I don't know. It was pretty recent after I got the computer. I don't know. I'd say like a couple of weeks.
Huh. And how long have you had it now?
September 29th is when I got it, so 2 months now.
Why could it be taking 15 minutes is not right.
Yes.
Now, the one thing to try to remember is what was the last thing you installed right before it happened, or maybe the last thing you did right before it happened. Do you remember installing perhaps something like Norton Internet Security? Right?
No, I've watched you for a while.
You
so
know better.
Yeah, I know to stay well away from that.
Sometimes security software or software that's really involved in the system can slow things down a little bit, but 15 minutes is outrageous.
Yes, and like I did MS Config, the startup tab, like I did it all, like
everything?
no spyware, all of that.
I think what this is a sign of, most likely, is a failing hard drive.
Okay.
What happens when the hard drive is starting to go bad is maybe you have a sector or two that are hard to read. And the hard drive doesn't give up. The hard drive is a persistent little cuss. It keeps trying until it can read it. So what I want you to do is, as it's booting up, I want you to listen to it and see if it sounds like it's laboring. See if it sounds like it's going trying to read. That's the sound of it, trying to read a sector. And it might do that for a little bit and then go on and then start doing it again. So if you had a number of bad sectors on critical system files, that's exactly the symptom you would see. You would see a much slower boot as it tried to read those sectors. Eventually it does, and so it goes on. And you would hear this kind of, do you hear anything like that?
No, not. The only really noise is when my computer starts up, like for whatever reason, like I don't know, it gets really loud. But
the fans do that. That's pretty normal, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know, like I really don't know what the problem is, and I added another user account to this computer.
Okay.
And when I did that, it hasn't done it since then. So.
And are you using the second user account, or are you still using your original account?
I'm still using the original account. The second user account was for my parents.
That's just a mystery then.
Yeah, and
I have no idea what that is.
The only thing that I had connected was I have a Linksys USB access point.
Okay.
And that was the only thing that was connected through that time. Like.
That's just a dang mystery. Maybe it is that the hard drive was a little flaky, and that by creating the new user account, you moved something, or you overwrote something, or rewrote something, and fixed the problem. That's just a mystery. Did it at any point do a check disk on boot up? Go into that screen where it's checking the hard drive?
Yes.
It did do that.
Oh, wait, no, sorry, no, I didn't.
Never did that.
I don't know, I thought you were talking about something else.
Corey, it's a mystery. Any thoughts, Mr. Klingon, Sean Carruthers? Any thoughts about what could be going on with it?
The only thing I can think of is the networking. Sometimes networking issues can cause the computer to hang.
Yeah, this sounds like a timeout, where it's waiting for something, finally gives up, and then goes on.
Right, so I'm wondering if it stopped giving you problems after you disconnected the access point as well.
Could have been that.
That's what it seemed to be getting hung up on, was trying to connect to, when it was trying to connect to my router.
Okay, well that would do it, absolutely. So once you've disconnected that, it just doesn't do it anymore.
Well, I still have it connected all the time, and it's still, I don't know.
And now it's better.
Yeah, after I added that user account, it hasn't done it.
Well, whatever you did, I'm glad you fixed it, Corey. I have no idea what it was that was causing it. I mean, it's just one of those mysteries. I'm glad you fixed it, because what I would have probably ended up telling you is, well, format the drive and start over and blah, 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 and it turns out none of that was necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea why that fixed it. If it starts happening again, I would check the hard drive. I would run, SpinRite or some sort of hard drive checking utility to make sure the hard drive is okay.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Hey, thank you, Corey. I'm glad you've worked it out.
Yes.
Take care.
All right,
Appreciate you calling in. Guys, call the ladies over the TV. Girls, stay tuned. Have you been looking for a better online resource to help you find what you need and get some good advice? Are you ready for the Chick Finder? Chick Advisor. Oh, I guess Chick Finder is not quite the right
Yeah, a little
thing.
different.
A guiding light to gals on the web coming up as Call for Help continues right after this.
With all the websites dedicated to lifestyle topics out there, it's difficult at times to zone in on finding constructive advice and tips on those things we all look for online. And if you ask any woman, she'll tell you how this process can be tricky if you're picky. Ali DeBold is here, and she started a site called ChickAdvisor to help you get the best scoop on the best products and services for your needs. Hi, Ali.
Hi.
Hi, nice to meet you. So tell me more about your site.
Well, it's basically for women to rate the products and services that they use every day, whether that's a hair salon or it's a facial cleanser that they like or something that doesn't work. They can go on, add that item to the hot list, and then they can rate it and other people can rate it, or they can find out where to buy it and just get advice from other women.
Perfect. Now, I didn't really even introduce you properly. So you're the entrepreneur that actually started this site. And when did it start?
We launched on September the 2nd.
Okay, so it's brand new. And I see you're in beta version.
Yeah.
So, okay. So
yeah, there's a few bugs.
Yeah. Okay, so what made you want to start the site?
Actually, my husband was the one who just said, let's just do it. Because I found it was very difficult to find a good hair salon.
Okay. Your hair is gorgeous, by the way, so you must have found a good one. I was going to comment. I was like, where did she get her color done? That's fantastic.
Michael Kluth.
Oh, good. Okay.
No, but I found that it's very expensive.
Yes.
And I just didn't want to do the whole trial and error thing all the time. And I'd been to about 5 different hair salons.
Yeah, I've been there.
In the period of a year.
Yeah.
So I was kind of looking for this sort of thing online. And also just under the bathroom sink, I have like maybe 50 products that just didn't work, whether it's a facial cleanser or a shampoo or something that just didn't really work.
Yeah.
And I found that a lot of women had that same problem.
Yeah.
So my husband's like, well, why don't we just build something? Why don't we just create a site where they can go and rate it?
Funny that it was your husband's idea. That's really, maybe he was looking to save some money and he wanted to like free up some space
Actually,
under
he
the
was.
bathroom sink.
Yeah, he was.
That is too funny. So what are some unique features of your site then? What kind of things do you review and talk about on there?
Well, we have a bunch of different categories, kind of where stuff fits in. So beauty, shopping, restaurants, health, fitness. So you can talk about anything from recommending a good doctor to a good gym to a boutique you really like, or you can talk about sample sales, or you can talk about any type of beauty product.
That's funny because this is the opposite of what I would do. Because when I find something I like, I don't tell anybody. So I'm a little greedy that way. Like if I find, like a really good shoe store or especially hairstylists, I never tell anyone who my hairstylist is because then I can't get in. So I think that's really really altruistic of you to actually go ahead and do that for other women. I applaud that.
Yeah, well, you know what? I found that a lot of people just, you meet someone on the street and you just really like their bag. Very often people will say, I love your bag. Where'd you get that? Women have that conversation every day.
Yes.
So we thought, why not just host that conversation online?
That's so great. And you've got your own blog going, and then there's blogs within the site as well, right?
Actually, we have a blog role, so that's just members' blogs.
Okay, I see. And you got some widgets you were telling me before you're starting, so that's kind of cute.
Yeah, so people can create their own hot lists. It's basically just a list of things that are their favorites that are on the site.
Okay.
So they can go on and make their own list, which they can then put into their blog. So do you want me to show you?
Sure, yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, so I'll just go into my profile just to show. So basically, by creating your hot list, all you do is you would go and add things and say that you like them. So here I have a bunch of different lists of various things that I like. And then in order to make it into a widget to go onto your blog, you just click on your widgets.
That's super cute. Yeah, it's a beautiful site too. I was really impressed. Who actually built that for you?
Thank you. We have 3 developers, 3 core developers who are doing it, and then we also had a graphic designer named Angela Noseworthy, and they all did a really
So the designer's a girl. Very good.
Actually,
very good.
She's the only other female on the
Oh,
project.
really?
Anyway,
so it's all guys. So how big is your team?
There's 3 core developers, most of whose names are Alex. We really have 3 Alexes.
That keeps it handy.
Yeah. There's my husband, of course,
Yeah.
Myself, and then we have 1 graphic designer.
So is this a full-time job for you? Are you making any money doing this yet?
Well, we just launched September 2nd.
Oh, right, obviously
So
not.
it is full-time for me, but I'm also a full-time student at Ryerson.
So where would you like to see this site go in the future?
We would just like to build it so that it's big enough, it's all over North America, so that every woman can go on and get advice about pretty much
Because
anything.
right now it's pretty much just Toronto-based, so in Vancouver, this isn't going to help me yet.
Yeah, we actually have reviews from all over North America, but primarily it's Toronto.
Yeah, when I was looking through it, it was primarily. Well, that's great. It'll be great to see it grow. I'm really excited about it, and I'll definitely be checking out, and my husband will be happy because he'll have more room in under our sink as well. So thank you. Ali DeBold is an entrepreneur and the co-founder of ChickAdvisor.com. For more info about today's segment, read over our show notes online at callforhelp.com. Now let's see if the women out there are faster at answering today's question, our trivia question today, which is, when was the optics company and lens maker Zeiss founded? 1953, 1899, 1846, or 500 BC? Think about your answer over the break, and we'll talk about it later in the show. Call for Help will be right back, so stay tuned.
Welcome back to Call for Help. I'm sorry, Yolanda, I felt very left out of that last conversation.
Well,
it was like
you know.
chick talk.
You were really interested in her shoes, though. She had fabulous red shoes, and you just kept going on and on about them.
Didn't you love those shoes?
Oh, they're
I don't know if we
fantastic.
got a shot of those, but
Really,
those were really,
really hard to walk in. Those are
Oh,
definitely
the
like
heels were
jewelry.
like 8 inches, yeah.
Jewelry, yeah.
But they were red patent leather, and
Oh,
they
they
were
were
really
hot.
cute. Yeah,
Very
really,
nice.
really
Yes.
cute. I want
gonna go
some
get a
for
pair?
myself. Yeah. I don't know if they have my size.
I don't think so. I don't think so. That would not be a pretty picture.
Do we have a caller, Yolanda?
We do. We've got Aaron from Kingston, Ontario on the line.
I'm wearing 8-inch heels right now, and I just think that they really accentuate my calf. Oh, I'm sorry. Hi, Aaron. How are you?
I'm great. How are you guys?
You're really sorry you're here right now. What can I do for you?
Well, actually, I have a D-Link, and it's saying that my local area connection is unplugged.
Oh, yeah. Well, that means your local area connection's unplugged. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that helps.
That's good. That's really helpful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that Windows message you get when you don't have internet access, when you don't have... Is it a D-Link Wi-Fi wireless, or is it D-Link hardwired?
D-Link wireless, I believe.
Wireless.
Yeah.
In other words, if you look at the back of the computer, there's no plug coming down the wall and all around for the Ethernet.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, it means it's dropping its wireless connection, and there's a lot of reasons that can happen. It can be interference from a neighbor. It can be interference from a cordless phone. It can be interference from a lot of things. That 2.4 gigahertz spectrum that Wi-Fi is on is unregulated, which means that there are a lot of things that could be on there. And so what you're seeing Windows say is, lost the connection. Can't see it. And the way it says it is that it's unplugged, which is probably not the best way to say it, given that
There's no plug.
There's no plug. I take it that when this happens, you lose internet access, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is referring to the wireless. You'll notice in your system tray you have two of those little icons for the connection, one wired and one wireless, because most people have Ethernet cards on their computers. There should be an X, or you should disable the wired one if you never use it, so that it won't give you that kind of warning. You can do that by just going into the control panel and looking at your connections control panel.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to show all connections here. And anything that you don't use, for instance, if we were using wireless, I would right-click on this LAN or high-speed internet. I would select disable, and I would turn it off. That way you won't get a message from that. But you're all getting the message, I presume, from your wireless connection. So what can we do to fix it? Well, it depends what's wrong. Believe it or not, nowadays, because of so many people having wireless, are there other wireless connections in your neighborhood?
I think the people behind us have it. Yeah.
So when you open your browser to look for wireless connections, if you see more than just yours, that can be the problem. Sometimes they can have a connection that's booting you off. One way to fix that, this is actually a useful thing to do. Microsoft, in their infinite wisdom, at one point decided to add zero wireless configuration to Windows. It was actually part of a system update. The problem with zero wireless configuration, it kind of makes Windows machines promiscuous. They're constantly looking for new relationships to forge. And the idea of the wireless zero config was to make it easier for you to get onto a wireless network, but it made it too easy. So I often, if I have problems with a Wi-Fi card dropping its signal a lot, I will go into services. Here's how you do it. You right-click on my computer, you select manage. That's going to open up Microsoft's System Computer Management Console, and you're going to go to a list of services. So I've opened up the list of services here, and right at the very bottom, there's going to be one called Wireless Zero Configuration. You'll probably see that it says started and automatic. What you're going to do is double click that and change the startup type from automatic to manual. That basically turns it off. You don't need it. And it does cause, in my experience, and I've been told this by a lot of people, drop-offs on Wi-Fi access. So that's in your services menu. Just disable that. If that doesn't fix the problem, moving your wireless access point around can help. Moving, it's a desktop, so you really can't move that around. But maybe if you've got do you have an external, is it a USB Wi-Fi adapter on that desktop, or is it internal?
USB.
Good. So moving, that's nice, actually, because that means that the antenna is external. So
Yeah.
Positioning that differently might help. If it's a neighbor interfering with you, that can help. If you've got a cordless phone in the area, and it's 2.4 gigahertz, move that away.
Oh, really? Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. Is it nearby?
Well, yeah, we have like 3.
Yeah. And the other thing that you might want to do is try a different channel. The cordless phones, I'm trying to remember, they tend to be at one end. You have 11 channels.
Okay.
And this is also in your control panel for your wireless. You probably have some software that came with your wireless card. Either use that or the Windows Wireless Configuration Utility. And you'll want to change the channel. Right now it's on auto. That's the default. Sometimes it's on one. Cordless phones, as I remember, I'm trying to remember, they're at one end or the other. I think they're at the low end. So if you've got cordless phones in that 2.4 gigahertz range, try a higher channel, 7, 8, 9, or 10.
Okay, well, I'm on 6 now. And the weird thing is,
6
it
is
says
in the
my
middle.
signal strength is like 40%.
40, yeah, so it's not that you're losing the signal, it's that you're losing your internet. That's interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
I think but that still can be interference. It also could be, I know one way to fix this is to unplug the base station and plug it in again, but that's kind of a pain. You don't want to have to do that all the time.
Yeah.
These are, it's a black art. These are all different things that might work. I would try some of them and see if they help.
All right.
Okay, Aaron?
Yep.
Hey, I thank you for the call.
Oh, thank you
All
so
right.
much.
My pleasure. Take care, sir.
Bye.
Hey, you think having a sexy looking phone like this can make you more attractive, look smarter, and get more babes? Doesn't help me at all. If so, you might want to take a look at the super slim Motorola Q and the elegant BlackBerry Pearl. It's a sexy versus sexy side-by-side comparison of the 2 hottest smartphones. Which one does Yolanda like best? We'll find out in just a bit. You stay right here. The PDA market is just cratering. People aren't using their Palm Pilots anymore. They're not using their Pocket PCs anymore because nowadays all that functionality comes in a phone. It's lighter, it's smaller, it's easier to carry, and frankly, why carry more than one device? Well, we've got a couple of very hot smartphones, really probably the 2 hottest on the market, and we assigned Yolanda the tough job of reviewing these phones, taking a look and telling us which she likes better. Now, you actually are an owner of a Motorola Q.
Yes, I should get that out of the way right now. I am the owner of a Q, so I've had a little bit more time to play with it and figure out what I like and don't like about it.
We're going to pair it up with the BlackBerry
Pearl.
which is
yes.
pretty.
So you can
Here,
see those.
you hold the Q and you hold the Pearl side by side, and you can see one of these is much prettier.
Well, it's funny. I saw a lot of pictures of the BlackBerry. And until about a week ago, I hadn't actually held one or looked at one in person, and it's beautiful.
It actually looks ugly in the pictures, doesn't it?
It does. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the same sex appeal at all that it does in person.
Right.
I was like, I took it out of the box, and then I'm like, oh man, I totally
It's
wish I would have got them
once
instead.
you take it out.
But-
So the other thing that's different about them is the Q is running Windows Mobile 5. The Pearl
Yes.
is running BlackBerry software.
Yes. So it depends on what you prefer.
Right.
The other big obvious difference is the keyboard.
Yeah, let's actually, why not let me hold this
All
up,
right.
because we can get it on this camera and it'll be a little
Perfect.
easier.
So it depends on what you sort of want, right? Like, I found I had no problem, obviously, picking up the QWERTY keyboard on the Motorola Q.
I mean, it's a regular keyboard.
It's a regular keyboard, and I know people with large hands, and they seem to be able to manage it fine.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's...
Do you thumb type mostly? Kinda?
Yeah, I do thumb type. Well, you can't, yeah.
You can't really use fingers.
No, not for this. But
Yeah.
it is very intuitive because I'm used to touch typing and it's very intuitive. Whereas I did spend quite a bit of time trying to play with the BlackBerry.
Could you
and
figure this? I mean, this is crazy.
I tried. I really tried. And even with the SureType, it's kind of distracting. It has the little
What is
words
SureType?
SureType kind of tries to figure out what you're saying, so it guesses. So it's an abridged QWERTY keyboard. It is QWERTY in terms of the actual layout.
Really? There's a Q and a
Yeah,
oh, there is.
yeah,
I
you
see.
can see it. It's
but
yeah.
each key has 2 letters on it.
And you know what? I had a really hard time with it. I found I was really, and also because there's this sort of this return key here, and the backspace keys over here, and I kept mistaking them.
What are they doing over there?
So then I'd always be coming out of my message, which I found really distracting.
Right.
And it has the trackball is the other thing
I like
too.
this. Now that's the Pearl in the Pearl.
It is. It's his namesake Pearl.
So unlike other Blackberries, which had a scroll wheel on the side, this has a centralized scroll ball.
yeah,
It's
they're
really
the
a
ones that came up
trackball.
with the scroll wheel, and then
Right.
they abandoned it for this one and went to the trackball.
What do you think? How do you like that?
You know what? At first I thought I'd hate it because I thought it would be too, kind of jittery, and then
Right.
I actually really liked it. It's nice for navigating
grows
around
on
mess.
you.
It does, and
Yeah.
then I went back to not liking it.
you hate it again.
Yeah, because
Why?
for taking pictures and stuff, like you use it for Zoom. And I
Oh.
would find that I would kind of accidentally hit it,
It's too
and
easy
I
to
would zoom in
accidentally,
really
yeah.
quickly, and it kind of was, and
Yeah.
it was sending emails in my purse, you know,
Right.
without my knowledge. So I kind of
That's a bad thing for a phone.
It was. I know. I was sending text messages. And I'm like, may not mean to send this.
For a
but-
long time, I was kind of against phones that didn't have that weren't flip phones, that didn't cover up the keypad because they accidentally dial.
They
and stuff
do,
like
yeah.
that.
I mean, on my phone, I have the lock setting security. It's like after 3 seconds.
But I
so
tell
that
you
never
what,
happens.
I get phone calls from my daughter's teenage friends on our
Really?
answering machine, and you know it's an accident because they won't say anything. You just hear
just
the
hear
party
the
going on in the
background,
background. And oh, let's not tell our parents we're going back to make out and stuff like that.
I have done that on the Pearl, but not on
Made out?
No. Oh, yeah.
Accidentally dialed.
Accidentally dialed. Yeah, no, I was nervous too because I came from a flip phone. My old audio
Right.
box was a flip phone, and I liked it for that very reason.
Now
too.
both of these have cameras. Are they both pretty good cameras?
They're both 1.3 megapixel cameras, so they're on par there. The Pearl is a bit kind of more grainy. It's a little more washed out. It's a more softer look,
So you
I
like
guess.
the
It depends on the
Q's
filter
pictures.
you're looking for.
Yeah.
I like the Q's pictures, a lot more sharp. And I mean, it's got a little bit better resolution on it as well. So.
Any other functionality that, I mean, the screen is a little bigger on the Q, you got to say
screen's
that.
big, which is
but then
nice.
so's the phone.
Well, you know, but it's nice for searching the web if you want it for.
It has a browser on it. It has
It
Explorer
does,
on it.
yeah, Internet Explorer, and it's not easy. Like I'll give it, you know, I don't like to use it very often. It's not something I enjoy using, but
Right.
if I need it in a pinch, it's there. Whereas things get reformatted quite a bit for the BlackBerry, so things get shifted
It
around.
has to be. It's a smaller screen.
It is
yeah.
a much narrower screen. So I mean, if you want to move from like a phone to something where you can check your email,
Right.
then I would get the BlackBerry. But
Better email on the BlackBerry. Always have thought so. I don't know about the Windows.
I have no
mobile.
problem with
You're
the
all right
email
with
on the
it?
Q.
Yeah?
No, it's fantastic.
It comes to you and
Yeah,
you see it. And, all right.
yeah. No, it was no problem setting it up, and it comes when I want it.
Now,
No.
both of them play music. Anyone have a
do.
superiority in that?
I
area?
think the Q actually has a little bit better the media center on it than.
It's got Windows
yeah,
Media Player.
It does, yes.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit better. The BlackBerry didn't go all out in theirs, but
Right.
it is there, and it'll play you know, MP3s and different files. So it's not bad. I wouldn't use it for that. Its Bluetooth capability also doesn't allow you to use the stereo headset, the wireless headset, whereas
Oh, that's
the
a
Q will.
problem.
Yeah, so you can use your phone headset.
So you can listen to
in the
music on
phone.
your phone headset with the Q.
Yes.
But not
No.
with the BlackBerry.
No,
Hmm.
no, yeah.
Okay, we take points off for that.
Yeah, we got to take some points off. So, I mean, overall, I have to say, you know, I really do like.
You like your Q?
I like my Q. There's things about it that, you
She's
know.
going to
sometimes-
stick with the
sometimes
Q,
we're-
ladies
yeah,
and
stick with it,
gentlemen. We
but-
tried to seduce her with the BlackBerry Pearl, but
Yeah.
no go,
And-
despite its cool, black, sleek, sexy exterior.
Yes, I thought I was going to be won over, but the keyboard brought me back. I just like being able just
Right.
to type, you know, without thinking about it. And you
We
really
could
need to
talk about
think.
a price on this, but as you pointed out, you got the Q for free,
I
and that's often the case. Is that
did.
the phone company will subsidize
Well,
it.
yeah, especially now. I mean, now is actually a good time if your contract's sort of coming up.
What
to
did you do?
Well, they started calling me actually and saying, "Yo, we love you. You know, thank you for being our customer for so many years. You know,
Wow.
you're fantastic." And it was a
Did
funny
you,
story.
did you have an analog phone? Were they trying to convert you to digital? Is that what it
No,
was?
no, I actually
No?
had a digital phone.
Okay.
But so what I did was I was like, okay, you know, they said, oh, well, we're gonna give you this great deal.
Yeah.
And they gave me a price, and I said, okay, fine, I'll think about it.
Good.
And
Ooh, you're tough.
Well, and then I went and I kind of waited for a while. I wasn't sure I wanted to go to data because of all of the, you know, the price involved and everything. And so I called them back later, and then someone else in my office got one, and they're like, oh, I got this great phone for, you know, this certain price for $250, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's the price they were going to give me for being their fantastic customer that they love so much.
So much for that.
So I called them up and I'm like, so funny story. You know,
And you found a sympathetic ear.
yeah, I did. I went through a few rungs of people, and they
you're
finally
good.
said, you know, fine, we're going to give it to you for free.
Free?
For free, yeah.
Free.
So
play
great price.
hardball with your provider,
Oh,
especially
yeah.
if you've been a long-time customer. You
Yeah,
might
and with
get a-
number portability coming up in March,
Yeah.
I believe it is.
Yeah.
It's,
We've had it in
a
the
good
States for a
time.
while. It does. It really
It
levels the playing
does,
field
it does.
you can take it away with you. and
Have
so-
prices gone down? Like, no, not
Not
really.
unless you're a
But
Yolanda
has service gone up?
Lougheed. No, yeah, right. Oh, of course, it's improved
nothing
immensely.
improves.
Nothing's improved.
Oh, that's
no.
great.
I have bad news for
I
you.
don't know what I'm looking forward to then. So you can just keep switching around.
You can switch to another bad company.
Yeah, great.
So if Yolanda's definitely got to vote for the Q. I don't know. I like the BlackBerry Pearl, but I have to agree with you. The keyboard is just not doing it for me. If you're still not sure which smartphone has your number, wipe up the drool and head for callforhelptv.com. We'll have more details on the different phones. Maybe that'll help you choose which is which for you. I wonder who's listening on the phone in the control room. You know, we always go away and and check what's going on in the control room. And I think sometimes we catch them off guard.
10, 9, 8 commercials, 7, 6, 5 commercials, 3, roll commercials, 2, 1, and
Welcome back to A Call for Help. We're still fighting. It's funny how phones really polarize people. Everybody says, oh, Marcel goes, I don't have a camera phone and I never will. And then there's others who say, well, my phone, like me, where I say, oh, my phone is slim, thin, and it's really funny how we all are showing off with our phones. It used to be it was just a telephone, right, Yolanda? And now all of a sudden it's a status symbol.
It is a status symbol. Yes, it is.
But you're pretty proud of your Q. Do people come up to you and say, wow, that's
Not
a nice
yet,
phone?
no. I'm disappointed with that. Kind of sucks. I want them to.
That's the real problem. No phone is hot and cool for more than about 3 minutes.
No, it doesn't last
And then there's
anymore.
the next one already. The Q was the hot phone for seconds.
Yes.
And now I don't know what the next one is, but it's moved on.
I know, it sucks. So, it's
amazing.
short-lived, but whatever.
Do we have another caller, speaking of phones?
We do. We've got Nick joining us via webcam from
Hey,
St.
Nick.
John, New Brunswick.
From St. John. How are you today?
Good. How are you, Leo?
Very well. Welcome to Call for Help.
Great to be on.
Oh, what can we do for you?
I just bought a MacBook, and I'm fairly new to the Mac.
Ooh, he's got the eyes of a devil. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I'm very familiar with Windows, but I used to be able to convert DivX files to DVD format,
Right.
and I'm looking for an application to be able to do that for the Mac.
So you have your existing DivX files and you want to burn a DVD so that you can watch them on your DVD player.
That's right.
That's a good question. I'm not sure what I would use on the Mac to do that. I wonder if Dr. DivX will come to the rescue. What did you use on the Windows side to do
I
that?
used an application called Dico,
Okay.
and it was free, and it basically created, the video or audio TS directories required in order
Right.
to do.
It converted it into the VOB format.
That's
and
right.
among other things, the conversion also was taking the DivX, this different compression, the DivX compressed files, and recompressing them as MPEG-2 files.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's a fairly complicated process. Let me just see if there is a Dr. DivX for Macintosh, because this program is really good. It's now, yeah, there is. It's now open source. And I think that they're doing a pretty good job. Let's see, DivX for Mac, DivX player. What we want is a converter, a DivX converter. Maybe not. Maybe they don't yet have the Dr. DivX for Mac. I guess not. Is it coming? They're working on it? That would be a good choice. It'll be absolutely free. And Dr. DivX is a great transcoder that lets you take things and convert them into different formats.
I was looking at an application called Visual Hub, but I wasn't sure if...
I haven't tried that. Have you tried that, Sean?
I've played with it a little bit.
Sean likes Visual Hub.
Yeah, it's something that Frank told me about, and it does do work with a number of different formats. It is very good, but I think you have to spend about $30 to get it up and running.
If I had QuickTime Pro, which is about $30, if I had QuickTime Pro and it is capable of saving it out, at least in a format that's an iDVD, you see, you've already got iDVD, which is a DVD authoring program. What we really need to do is convert the DivX into a format that iDVD can read, whether it's AVI, MPEG-1, MPEG-2, and then iDVD would do the next step of making a DVD out of it.
I see.
I wonder if you had QuickTime Pro and you had a DivX codec. In other words, if QuickTime Pro could read it, I think you could then save it out in a QuickTime Pro format.
Yeah, if QuickTime Pro can read it, you can send it out to any of the formats it can
Right.
write to. So you can send it out to an MPEG-2 or a DV stream or anything like that.
So really, I like QuickTime Pro anyway. I think it's it enhances QuickTime considerably. It's about $30 from Apple. It's probably the best way, I think, to kind of get yourself in a situation where you can convert these files. Once you have QuickTime Pro, there's a really useful little plugin also called, I think it's Parian, that allows, Parian is a free download that allows QuickTime then to read DivX files. And so I'm pretty sure, I haven't tried it, but I'm pretty sure what you would do is you download and install QuickTime Pro, you use Parian, P-E-R-I-A-N, and now you're able to open up those DivX files and you can save them out in a format that iDVD can then burn. And you'll like iDVD because it gives you menus and a lot of nice features that make a really good looking.
Yeah, what I've seen of it, I love it.
Yeah, it's a really slick. So I would say start with Perian and QuickTime Pro and give that a shot.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to go. The nice thing is Perian doesn't cost you anything. Perian. A Google search for that will take you right to the page where you can download
Beautiful.
that.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Nick.
Love the show.
Oh, I appreciate your watching it. Yeah, DivX is such a common format, and XVID, the open source version, now that I think DivX support on every platform is kind of a must. Kind of a must. We don't have time for a free file, but I'll make. Oh, we do. Should we go over there? Well, I'm going to make Perian my free file for you Mac users. Now let's see if Mike has a good free file for you Windows users. You ever get a situation where you delete that report, you know, the one you spent 8 hours on working last night, and you're exhausted, it's the middle of the night, and you accidentally press the delete key? Our free file today will save your butt and let you enjoy the weekend. Mikey, working for the weekend Lazarus here.
The first point is make sure you back up your documents while you're working on them, right?
Right, so you don't need this.
So you don't need this, but
it happens
it
to us all.
happens, right?
Yep.
And so this is called Free Undelete.
See, I wish I'd known about this. I paid money for an undeleting program.
It does work, but they do sell upgrades, so it means it works only
Doesn't
so
everything.
well,
Okay.
right? It's important to have, if they sell upgrades, because that means they don't include spyware and adware in there to make money off
We
of
like
this.
to see that. It
We'd
means
like-
they've got a viable financial model.
Exactly. So what it does, you select the hard drive. In this case, we have 6 different hard drives to choose from
Okay.
to undelete, and you click scan, and it'll come up with all these files that have been deleted. Now, you'll notice a lot of these are DLLs. These are normal system processes that have been erased or rewritten.
We don't want to get those.
We don't want to
back.
get those necessarily back. But what's
So
neat
this is
about
showing everything I've deleted?
in the last little bit in terms
This is
of when it can
important,
see.
by the way. If you think that you deleted a file and nobody can get it back, this is a little lesson. Look at all these files.
Exactly. Another important thing is it tells you the status of it.
Now,
And
this is not stuff in the recycle bin. This is stuff that's been emptied
This is-
out of the recycle bin. It's long gone.
It's long gone, and it's important to see the status here because this is poor,
that
which
means there's less likelihood you can get it back.
or in a recoverable. So if it might be a Word document, so if it's poor, you might be able to get
Part of
portions
it?
of it back, but
Okay.
you won't get the whole thing. But don't restore like a system file that's
EXE,
poor.
if it's poor, you forget it.
Exactly, because you're going to screw up your computer.
Average,
Poor. These are all poor right here. There were some good ones earlier in one of the other
Sort
ones.
by status, maybe.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea actually.
Oh,
I was
clever.
rescanning C. Anyhow, so it's a really cool program. If you haven't backed up your files, or if you're working on a report and it's due
You
tomorrow,
may be able to get them back. This is from officerecovery.com. Free undelete. I like the word free. That's why we do a free file of the day. You know what else is free?
Linux is free. I think.
Linux is free. Our Linux guru, Marcel Gagne, author of the Cooking with Linux column and Linux Journal, is here to help you speed up and simplify your Linux world. Did you have something else you wanted to say?
Love is free as well.
Love can be free.
Yes.
It can be free
It can
or
cost you.
pricey.
Yes.
Depends who you love. Now, let's see if you can sort through and simplify. I think I've told you more than I really should now. Simplify the list of options in our quiz question of the day. When was the optics company and lens maker Zeiss founded? Was it 53, 99, 46, or 500 BC? Get to the website, give us the answer. We'll talk about it. One call for help continues. Call for help before the break. We asked you when Zeiss was founded. It was founded in, I'm going to guess, 1899, because that's when I pick the date. And I was wrong. Ha! Ha! You knew that?
I did.
Oh.
Well, no, actually, I guessed
He
it, but I
guessed
guessed it right. I did not actually
It
know
was
it. I knew it was an
1846.
18-something.
This know-it-all is, of course, our Linux guru, Marcel Gagne, the author of the Cooking with Linux column.
And moving to Ubuntu Linux,
Oh, let's not forget moving to Ubuntu Linux.
in which you have a lovely forward.
Kiss the blue screen of death. Ta-ta.
Dudes.
Later, dudes. So, in Windows, you've got this thing called My Computer. It's kind of where you go to kind of find out all about My Computer.
Yeah, what's hooked up to it, what devices you've got. And in fact, once upon a time, a long time ago when the earth was young and so forth, and Linux wasn't quite as easy to install as it is now, people would tell you to actually go to My Computer and go to the device list and find out what was connected to your computer before you installed Linux.
But as soon as they did install Linux, they go, well, where's My Computer on Linux? Now, I don't personally say this.
Yeah.
But if you're a dyed-in-the-wool Windows user, you might say, I need something that's
Yeah,
analogous.
and in fact, some distributions, notably things like Linspire and a couple of
They
other
put a
ones out
My
there,
Computer.
They actually put an icon on it that says My Computer. What I wanted to give you an idea was that there's actually a lot of different ways to take a look at that from the system point of view, which is why, we'll take a really, really, really rapid fire tour. This is Konqueror
You don't have
in
to
KDE.
rush. We got plenty of time.
All right.
Relax. Konqueror is a browser.
Yes,
I thought Konqueror was a browser.
Konqueror is a browser, but it's so much more. You can do all sorts of cool things. It's a browser. It's a file manager. It's a way to
floor
peek
wax.
into your. You name it. I mean, it does it, baby. But if you take a look here,
This is very
what
much
they'll
like
often
the Windows Explorer.
And in fact, what they'll do is they'll start out with this system thing, and then they'll put that on the desktop, and that will be what the My Computer is. This is what they're going to start from. And in fact, I could create a link there that says, and I could rename
could
it.
even
So it says
name it My Computer.
Yeah, I could call it My Computer, give it an icon, picture of a computer.
So that's probably what Linspire and others are doing.
Absolutely, that's exactly what's happening. I can click on the home folder, take a look at my files. I can click remote places, and then here, of course, I've got
There's
things
your
like
My Network Neighborhood.
Bluetooth, Samba, Bluetooth, Samba shares, and so forth. Where I can find. I can
Samba
also
is your
even
network
use
drives.
Samba's your network drives, specifically your Windows file sharing stuff, right? I can also say applications : and that will show me the list of applications that are in my system menu, so I can walk the
don't know if we
applications
need to go any
that way.
further. Konqueror seems that it will show you everything you'd ever want to know about your computer.
It will, but how does it find out all these things? Well, there's a really neat thing on the system called KDE Info Center.
It's actually using that. You know what? When I install a new Linux, that's the first place I go. So
KDE Info Center?
Because that's where you can kind of tweak everything.
Well, that's K-Control, actually. KDE Control Center.
This is not KDE
No.
Control Center. This is Info.
Info Center. Info Center is primarily things that are connected to your system. And we've got things like devices that are connected, the amount of memory that's in use on your system.
So these aren't settings you could change. This is just information.
This is just so you can pick and choose and see the bits and pieces that exist on your system, PCI devices that are connected to your system.
So this is kind of like the device manager.
It is. It's exactly like the device manager. But you remember that applications thing that I showed you a moment ago and the system thing that I showed you a moment ago?
Yes.
Check this out. There's something under here that says protocols.
Protocols.
If you click on protocols, these are all the nifty, cool ways into the system that you can use. In fact, you can use them through Konqueror. For instance, if you want to find out, remember I did applications.
Yeah.
How to find the applications on the system, the fonts that are connected to the system, whether you've got a floppy drive or something like that. In some cases, they give you information and so forth. But I could use all those things in Konqueror. I could type // in Konqueror, applications : /
click fonts again. So it gave you a URL when you did that.
It gave me a URL. Now, if I go back into Konqueror over here, oops, that's not my Konqueror screen. If I go back into Konqueror and I
could
type
just enter that
FONTS : it will list all the fonts that are my personal
in a
fonts
way,
as well as the system fonts and so forth.
I
Isn't that cool? And I get a nice preview of all those fonts. So the KDE Info Center isn't so much the place where you get everything, but when you take a look at those services that are available there,
it'll tell you what you can see.
It'll tell you what you can see. And some of them are really neat. Like Fish sounds like a bizarre thing.
What
but
is Fish?
Secure copy. It allows you to open a secure channel so that you can browse. And I use that, by the way, to transfer files to my website all the time. What I'll do is I'll split the windows on Konqueror, so I've got two windows, and I'll drag and drop from one side to the other through a secure connection, an SCP connection, secure.
Yeah, I use
copy.
SCP on the command line, so this is kind of an interface to
Fish
SCP.
is the protocol for SCP. Can you dig it?
I can dig it.
But it's a really, really neat
So
way
you do
to
fish : / and then where you're going.
Well, fish : / whatever your system happens to be, but like I could do that fish : you'll notice that.
I think the problem, and any time somebody's moving from one operating system to the other, you know how to do something in Windows. You know what My Computer is and what it does. It's trying to figure out how do I get that functionality in a new operating system. And so this is a couple of different ways you can go about that.
You said that you use the KDE Control Center. The KDE Control Center is actually a great place to look, because you'll get things like, how do I change the background color of my system?
I go in there right away
the
just to customize everything up.
Exactly. I want to change the theme. I want to change the background, all that sort of stuff.
That's kind of like the control panels in Windows.
It is, exactly. The KDE Info Center, that's more like the stuff under the surface, and it gives you some great ways to basically look into your system and access other parts of your system, including, of course, the hardware, and find out which devices are hooked up.
Are these on all versions of Linux, all distributions?
They're on everything that is going to have KDE installed. You'll find these things, but there are other things. There's something called the HAL Device Manager, and you know what HAL is, the hardware abstraction layer.
Yes, right.
You can look at your system that way.
Windows only, so I guess that's
actually,
true of all
it's been ported, I guess is the right word for it. And even on the command line, you can do things like LSPCI, and you can take a look at all the PCI
you can do
devices that are
LSPCI.
you know, so there are lots of different ways to find out what's hooked up to your system and how to get to that information.
Would you make a list of these and put them on our website?
I can do that.
Because that would be very useful, I think, to people. Because there's more than one way
Actually,
to
on
do
the web notes, I've already covered the KDE Info Center, but
right.
I can add a couple of additional notes that talks about things like the HAL Device Manager.
I got a
and,
better idea. We'll put the info center on callforhelptv.com.
All right.
If you want to know more, read Moving to Ubuntu.
Right, moving to Ubuntu Linux.
Because
or moving to Linux, kiss the blue screen at Buy.
I'm thinking it's all in there.
It's all in there.
I'm thinking that. And you can get those books where?
You can
Anywhere.
get any bookstore, Amazon.com,
Finer
Barnes
books.
and Noble,
Indigo
Chapters, Indigo, you name it.
Anywhere. Marcel Gagne is everywhere you want to be. The award-winning author of countless books on Linux. Countless. Well, I haven't counted them, so they're uncounted. Maybe I should say uncounted.
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 5
They are
so far.
countable, but uncounted. And go to the website, marcelgagne.com. He has lots of good stuff.
In fact, on the marcelgagne.com, I also have a free mailing list that you can join where you can chat with other Linux users. So if you're just moving to Linux, take a look at the left-hand side on the menu and you can join the list. It's a free service. You can unsubscribe anytime you want. But if you have questions, you can ask other people who have been through the same thing that you're going through.
You've done a
And
lot really to evangelize Linux. I think that's great, Marcel.
I'm doing what I can.
I am
you know.
proud of you. And I'm
Thank
glad you come on here
Thank
regularly to tell the world about Linux.
I like being here. It's great.
You know, you don't have to use Windows. You don't have to use Mac. You
You
can use
don't.
something free and wonderful. It's called Linux. Callforhelptv.com. That's free and wonderful, too, and you can use that to get all the information Marcel just mentioned. We'll be back to wrap up this show in a couple of minutes. Don't move a muscle. Well, this has been a fun day. Once again, I thank you so much for being here
Thank you for
in
having
navy
me.
blue.
Matching day.
You can catch Yolanda on her radio show on CKNW in
Yes.
Vancouver.
It's-
When is it on?
It's on Saturday, 1 to 3 p.m. Pacific time, but it's broadcast nationally across Canada as well.
Oh.
Except for in Toronto. It's funny, it's not in Toronto, but it's in Montreal, London, Winnipeg.
On the Chorus Radio Network.
On the Chorus Radio Network. You can listen online. So
You can listen online too?
Yeah.
Well, you're a national hero, a celebrity. I had no idea.
hardly.
What's the name of the show?
Get Connected Radio.
Get Connected
Yeah.
Radio. I actually do stuff on CKNW from time to time with Bill.
Yeah, you
Good.
were saying that. It's funny. You're everywhere though. So
Well, it's just interviews. You know, Bill comes on and he's got this great old radio
He
voice.
does. He's got a
and he says,
fabulous radio
Leo,
voice."
tell me about computers. And I'll say, well, Bill.
you have to match it. Well, how long is your radio show? Like.
I do a radio show in LA that's 3 hours Saturday, 3 hours Sunday.
Oh, my
I'm
God.
exhausted.
Do you produce that, or does someone else produce
What
it?
do you mean
I guess
produce
I guess
it?
someone
That's
else
just
puts
calls.
it together.
There's nothing
yeah.
to produce.
Oh, is it just straight calls?
Just answer phone calls.
Wow.
There's nothing to produce.
That's impressive. Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
that's impressive.
I'll tell you what I would like people to produce. Their Skype. We want to move to Skype. You know, we've been using MSN Messenger and iChat, but every time we use Skype, we go, wow, this picture is great. It is a free program. You probably know it for making free internet phone calls, skype.com. You've got it up.
Yep, I've got it up on the
there.
screen here. It's really easy to get set up on
Windows
too,
and
so
Mac.
anyone can use it.
Absolutely free. You've used it to, you probably call your husband tonight on
I
Skype.
will, yes, indeed.
And if you want to call the show, we would love you to use Skype because now it supports video on Windows and Mac, and the video quality is
Finally,
spectacular.
you know, we were waiting
Finally.
for that, right? I mean, that was
Finally.
something that just seemed to be missing for so long, and now it's there, and it's like, like it just feels
And
complete
they're
now.
good. They do, I
Yes.
don't know how they do it, but it works better than anything else out
It
there.
does, yeah, no, it
So-
stayed number one.
Join us on the show. All you got to do is download Skype and then go to the website, callforhelptv.com, fill out the form, and ask your question. When you do fill out the form, fill it out. Give us, because if we don't have your email and your phone and the operating system, we may not be able to get back a hold of you. And we really do want to. We love having all of your questions. We can't answer everything. We certainly can't answer questions personally, but we do put all of the callers on this show come from that basket of questions at callforhelptv.com. So remember, you ready
Don't
to
whine.
do it? Wait.
Don't whine. Oh, sorry, I
Hold on.
went too fast.
If you got a problem with your personal confuser,
Don't whine.
don't moan.
Don't yelp.
Just
Call for help.
Thanks, Yolanda.
Thank you
We'll
very
see you
much.
around. And we'll see you around. Come back soon, all right? Bye-bye.